He said to me one day in conversation, in fact, he said this more than once because of the talks we had had. He said to me, he says, Sam, he says, the world's a better place because you're in it. That's a wonderful compliment from someone. But I believe the world was a better place because he was in it. I love him and I love his family. I'm so sorry that this happened. And I have no idea what the Lord's got in mind for that family, but I know there's going to be a blessing out of this. Don't ask me how I know, I just know. He will be blessed, and his family will be blessed.
A little story about Ray. I always considered myself, I guess, a fair judge of character. And I had never spoken to Ray previously, but I always thought, it seems like a guy you might want to keep your distance. So anyways, I was employed at the Village of Bethlehem, and at the time Art McKenzie was the mayor, and at that time Ray worked at Wheeling Distribution. So anyways, we had a guy retire, and we're looking for a new guy. So Art comes in, tells us one day, got a guy I'm thinking about bringing on. He starts talking about him, and just from him describing him, I was like, oh man, I know exactly who this is. I don't think this is going to be good. So I start telling Art, oh, I know this guy, you know. I've heard this about him, heard that about him. And actually I had heard nothing about him. So I continued to try to persuade my employer, you know, we don't need this guy, we don't need this guy. You know, I've heard this, I've heard that. And he goes, I know, me too. He goes, he starts tomorrow. And you're training him. So, sure enough, Ray shows up the next day, walks in, introduces himself, sits down, and acts like he'd been working there for years. And instantly, everybody took right to him. Which just showed me how wrong I was. And over the years, you couldn't ask for a better friend.
But today's been an awesome experience for me to see for 6 hours or longer. That was supposed to be the viewing hours, but going on 8 hours now or more. That this lot's been full. Bikers who care, they care about a lot more than what people may think about America. They're not lazy, they're workers, and they care about things very much.
We went to Dustin's chapter for his party, and Curb crawls under Rainmaker's truck to sleep because it was raining and your new tent had the wrong rain fly. And you couldn't find him. So here goes Debbie out through the field yelling for Ray. National comes and pecks on Curb's foot. What's your name? No, what's your real name? Ray. There's a woman running up through there screaming for Ray. Is that your wife? It was.
My best memory of Uncle Ray was probably, I can't remember it, but I went to his house for like a week straight, and when I came back, I would keep peeing outside and I wouldn't go pee inside because he taught me to pee outside. So my mom had to call him and have him tell me that it's okay to go pee inside. Yeah, riding on his motorcycle. He used to ride us down the driveway. He taught a lot of people a lot of stuff. He was just like my pap. really good man. He had the same fingers as my pap, really big. Now I'm starting to get them too. Like catcher's mitts, they're that big. And yeah, he affected a lot of people, as you can see. Tons of people are here.
One of the ones that really stick out to me were, we were having dinner a long time ago, and I think it was hot dogs. And he looked at me and he said, hey Joey, can you pass the moose tart? And I looked around, I had no idea what he was talking about. Danny started laughing, Jenny laughed, Debbie laughed, and I had no idea what was going on. And here he was talking about mustard, is what he was talking. That always sticks with me all the time. And
I've known Ray, I guess 16, 17 years now. Ray was my sponsor. He brought me into the club. He taught me a lot. He was always there for me. He was my friend, my brother, a confidant. It won't be the same at Kroger when I don't bump into Deb and Curb. That was always a special Sunday or Saturday. Guys, if to just say my heart's broken, it's not enough. The room's filled with broken hearts tonight, and the world won't be the same place without Curb. I was excited for him to be a grandpa, and I know he was. He loved his kids. He loved all kids. He was proud of his kids, and you're not alone. You're loved. You'll be in my thoughts and my prayers always.
Oh, he was full of life. He was the star of the show. He really was. He's what made everything fun for everybody. Like, I'm a Grim Reaper, he's a Brothers of the Wheel. He would be the first one trucking his happy ass across the lawn to meet and greet everybody. He was what made it special and fun.
And he was just a phenomenal dad, and he was a wonderful person, and I'm very fortunate and lucky to have known him and to have his daughter as one of my very best friends. And he will definitely be missed by everyone.
I met Curb around 10 years ago when we started riding motorcycles. We met up with the Brothers of the Wheel and instantly became friends with the whole group. They're the kind of people that you can just fall in love with. And they accepted us with open arms. I loved every one of those guys. But when you walked into the clubhouse, his smile was unbelievable. Unbelievable. You just knew by looking at him that he loved you. There was no doubt whatsoever.
The words "I love you, man" never came more genuinely to any other person that ever said it. Like, when he said it, he meant it, and you felt it.
Yep.
And we love you, man.
We love you.
Yeah, we love all of you. And what a great dad, a great husband, brother, friend, a great friend. And like you said, he was there for anyone at any time. So we love you.
Rest in peace.
When I first met Ray, I was eating Sunday dinner at the Vogel's house, and I just remember thinking, am I sitting down with my dad right now eating? Because he and my dad were just so much the same. And I hope right now Ray and my dad are up in heaven together, drinking beer together and talking about me and Danny and everything else.
And as we all know, Curb was Remington's sponsor. Ever since he started riding, Lori and I rode with him too. Anytime we're around Curb, we're in stitches laughing. However, we were on our way to Charleston, and the old woman got sick from the heat. And Curb rode my Spider. He hated that thing. He couldn't get it started. He couldn't get the gears to shift. So our first stop after that, it was handed back over. Sick or not, he was done. We love you all. And the memories is just, there's too many to even think about telling about. But Curb was an awesome guy, and so's his family. He has affected my life in the positive way. Nothing's ever too bad that you can't smile. There's always something to laugh about. No matter how bad your day is, there's always something there to laugh about.
My one memory, he would always have a smile on his face and that. And you couldn't tell if he was sad or mad because he would just have a smile every time. And that's it.
Tell your one story about Tell a story about Grandma's surprise party.
It was funny, always had a smile on his face. I think our greatest memories are, for me, in college with Ray, when Robert and I would camp out at their house all weekend. We'd drink some beers, have some fun, lots of laughs, and you just had a lot of fun when you were with Ray. You never knew. He was kind of unexpected. And I think also camping. This is where we remember, what was that camping trip called, Greg? Where we went down the river.
MDMC.
Yeah, Belltown.
Belltown Regatta.
Yeah, those were a lot of great memories. And what was one of your favorite memories?
They were all good memories with Ray. Anytime you was with him, you had fun, you laughed. He was just a happy-go-lucky guy, would help anybody, give his shirt off his back.
It's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Chantel?
Ray, you're just a beam of sunshine and just brought joy to everybody when we were with you, and there's just not a time when we haven't had a good time when we were together. And we love you all. Deb, we love you, and Danny and Jen.
Yeah.
He was a great man.
I would say his legacy was his smile, his Curb's mannerism. Curb never had an enemy. Curb never met a stranger. He always had a smile, even when he was angry. Curb always had a smile on his face. You never saw him without it.
Never ever.
If there was a legacy, I would say that would be his legacy. He never met an enemy. He never met a stranger.
You'd never go anywhere with Curb, but everybody knew Curb.
Everybody knew him.
They always knew Curb.
It didn't make a difference where you went, how far you went.
No.
I went to the East Coast of Pennsylvania with Curb, and somebody there knew Curb. I was going out to Arizona. I wanted to know if I could take my colors, and Curb made a phone call and said, "Yep, you're good." Somebody in Arizona he knew he could call. So
we'll miss you, Curb.
I love you, brother.
Hey, Mary, you need air in your tires? You put air in my tires, you know, and things like that. Just things out of the heart. If anything was out of line in the garage or anything like that, pretty much Ray, I could depend on him just to straighten it out even before I got there. And those are the great things of the attribute of his personality, because he just made life easier, especially somebody in my position at a time like that. And instead of coming in disgruntled, he pulled me aside and say, "It's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right." And it was, it really was. So that's about all.
One of the biggest memories I have is every time Ray would introduce me to his friends or a brother, he would always tell this story about the cheese block, and how my teeth were teeth marks in it. And I remember I used to get so mad because I didn't want anyone to know how weird I was as a kid, I guess. But of course, Ray being Ray would always tell that story, and I remember just thinking, shut up, Ray, just be quiet, you know, don't tell these guys this story. And of course, you would always tell it with such enthusiasm that I couldn't really be mad at you for it. And in the end, of course, everybody would laugh, and just your spontaneous, you know, attitude towards life, you know, you made everybody laugh, and you instilled, you know, so many good morals into Danny and Jenny, and I look at them and they just remind me of you, and you did a great job raising them and raising me.
It's as weird as it sounds, but the smell of kerosene, because the times that me and Danny spent in the basement, and Ray would always come down and he'd light that kerosene heater for us so we could play video games on that TV. That big red Dodge that he had, there's just so much. All the times that playing baseball, that he would just put us in the, you know, now it's super illegal, but you would just pile in a whole baseball team into the back of a truck and be like, we're going to Dairy Queen. It was always Ray's truck. That one time that, you know, we went and we searched for hay bales with my brother Ray and me and Danny just sitting in the back. I don't know where we went, but I remember that really clearly. Just so many good memories of him. His laugh, his teeth that he got knocked out by a baseball bat, and he had the fake ones in the front, and he would pop out every once in a while. So he was an amazing dude. He was such a good guy. Even my mom said he was like a second dad to me. He was there for, over 20 years. You know, I've known him, and he was a good guy. He's a really good guy.
Worked with Ray for 10 years. He was about the most comfortable man I ever worked around because of his great heart, and it was one of the best I've ever seen in a person. And he would do anything for you if you were down. Didn't get down too much. I don't too much in life, but when I would, I'd just join the circle at the end of the day and sit down, and your grandpap, your husband, your father would pick me right up just by his mere stories. Baby Ray, I'm going to call you that because I understand that's going to be your middle name. And your grandpap pulled up in the backhoe in front of my house about 2 weeks ago and said to me, "Hey, Brett, come over here." And so I did, and he said to me, "You got new neighbors. My daughter's gonna move down in Baytree." And I said, "That's super, they can come up through the backyard anytime. And you know what, I'm gonna be a grandpap." And he was so proud of that. And
I just wanted to say that I've known Curb for, I would say, 6, maybe 7 years. He was very well loved and respected by anybody that ever met him. And I know you can't see the rest of this room, but there are a lot of people here. And I thought that I would just share a funny story about one night he was drunk and decided to cut a patch off of his vest and give to me. And the patch was this one right here that says white trash. And I had just got a brand new vest and I hadn't sewn any patches onto it yet. And he took duct tape and put it right there. And the next morning, I decided to sew it on, even though I had 20 other patches to sew. I put that one. The next weekend, I got in a lot of trouble. And here we are, 7 months later, I'm out of jail, and this is the first day that I've ever put it back on. And that was the first thing I saw. So he was loved by everybody that met him. And because he gave me one, I left him with one and a fine Cuban cigar.
I was just telling Danny the story about how him and Amber Aiken talked me into climbing this tree as high as I could. And I really didn't think it was that high until I felt my body sway with the tree with the wind. And then I was scared to death and I couldn't get down. So Danny had to go run and grab you, and you had to come get me out. But of course you're too big to climb the tree. So you had to stand at the bottom of the tree and just coax me down branch by branch. And I remember begging you, Ray, just come up here and get me. No, Jill, I can't go up there and get you. Just come down. I'll never forget that one. And with each step, I knew I was safe with you at the bottom of the tree. And I knew I would be okay. I have so many stories, I really don't know exactly which one to focus on. But I think really the best part is one of the saddest part is that you'll never meet this baby girl. But what I keep reminding Jenny is that you already have. And you helped make us who we are today. And without you, we wouldn't be who we are. And I guess the only thing I can say is thank you. Thank you for always being there for me when I needed you to be. And of course, for Danny and Jenny. And
because he was a strong, big, gentle giant, and that's the sad part of it. But life goes on. I just encourage you guys to just strengthen each other with your love, and when you need a hug, go see each other, or hey, come up through the yard. Your dad would have done that for me. He always offered his helping heart. Was never afraid of any man on this earth, and he was Hulk of a man. And so he says, but I do fear Debbie. she could kill me, and things like that. And but he loved you very much, Debbie. And knowing that for a fact, never a slight, never any words like that out of a wrong prideful man or something like that, but he dearly loved you.
I don't know, every time I think of, like I said, Danny's my best friend. Every time I think of Danny, I always think of Ray. And it was just, him and Debbie's lifestyle were just, really simple. And that's what I love. I love a simple lifestyle. And to be honest, that did come from Ray. He had a very simple thing going on, and I love that. And even now, with my wife, I just like a simple lifestyle. Nothing fancy, just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. But there's been multiple times when, I thought about Ray when I was not living up here, and I don't know, he was just a great guy. He was extremely warm and inviting, at least. He was one of my favorite guys. I know for a fact, coming back, I always hoped that I'd run into him because he always had something funny to say, Like I said, he's known me and my brother and my family for 20 years. He'd always ask how everybody is, extremely caring guy.
Ray said, hey, my daughter's going to college, I need to back off. We still saw him at all the meetings, at most of the runs, all the runs. And I forget what year that was, but I can remember it just like yesterday. And now I'm getting ready to go through that myself with, my daughter. And I'll always think of Ray. He was always there for his kids. This is the first time I got to meet Danny. I always heard about Danny, but it still hasn't sunk in. He's not around, because he was always there when you needed him, or if you didn't need him, he was always still there in your face if you needed it. If you didn't want it, he was still there in your face. He was persistent. He was an old soul, the kindest, biggest heart imaginable. And Again, I can't even imagine. I'm not a big fan of funerals, but this one hurts. This one hurts. God bless you all. I hope 2017 is the best year ever. Take it one day at a time. You got lots of good memories. It would have been easier if Ray was a real asshole, but he was only an asshole some of the time. But he did have really soft hands, and I love the way he hugged me, and I'm gonna miss his hugs all the time. Love you guys. God bless.
And I just wanted to tell a little story about Ray. This is my first memory of Ray, and I was maybe 5 or 6 years old. He was a t-ball coach, and my brother played t-ball with Danny. And I remember that somebody had a bat, and they were swinging at the ball, and the bat flew out of their hands, and it accidentally went and hit Ray in the mouth, and one of his teeth fell out. And it was just like hanging there. And I remember as children, we were all mortified. But Ray was just like, keep playing, kids, keep playing, I'm okay.
And Baby Hubbard, you had one amazing grandfather, and I hope you always know that. You could tell how much Ray loved his family because every Sunday dinner at their house was nothing but laughs and laughs and laughs and memories and laughs and laughs and laughs. Yeah, every Sunday Debbie cooked dinner, and she had Danny and Jenny, and me and Casey were up there. A lot of Sundays. A lot of Sundays. And it was always funny when he told old stories about Danny and Jenny, definitely. Really funny stories, things that I never even knew until Ray told them. But he's always just had so many funny stories. And that I'll always be here for them, no matter what. To talk, to listen. Jenny and Casey, I wish you guys the best of luck when your baby comes. Debbie, I wish you the best of luck when the baby comes. Danny, you know I'll always be here for you, no matter the situation, no matter where we end up. You're still my best friend, and you always will be.
I met him, actually, I was a hang-around for Brothers of the Wheel. And apparently, I was a little too wild and out of control to be Brothers of the Wheel, and he introduced me to my brothers now, which are the Grim Reapers Motorcycle Club. And I fit right in there. Even though we all still talked, and he works with my best friend, who's Jimmy, and we all become best friends, and I guess that's how life works. So we talk regular, drink on a regular, text daily, funny pictures, stories, things that happen at work. I have pictures of him riding tricycles and wagons and all kinds of crazy stuff. But he was fun. But he did write a song once. And me and Jimmy Thomas were playing guitars around a fire at the clubhouse, playing, singing, having a good time, and he decided he could play and sing too. So he took my guitar and he started strumming at it. Obviously, he couldn't play guitar. But he wrote a song called What? That was the only word in the song was what. And he would say it at random times whenever somebody would look at him because he wasn't playing something that people would enjoy, we'll say. So, what become very comical for about the last 2 years.
I'm Hippie.
I'm Heavy.
We're here to talk about the man,
the myth,
the legend,
Curb.
I don't have I have so many things I want to say about Curb, but I am going to say this. If you want to know what glue looks like, you want to know what a foundation looks like, you knew Curb. Curb was a nucleus to most everything he was with. Everything that Curb was about, he was the nucleus. Hell of a man.
Very hell of a man. He was a legacy to the Brother of the Wheels. There was nowhere you would go that nobody didn't know Curb. He was just the man that would help anybody. There's a lot of good stories, a lot of bad stories, but there's all good to us. I met Curb probably 15, 16 years ago. We went to a bike run in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. It's called the Dog Run. I come rolling out of my tent, and here I had my ex-wife's shorts on, which were white and pink, and they were boy shorts.
Boy shorts.
Boy shorts.
Boy shorts.
And on the back of them, they said, "Beach Babe." Big burly guy coming out with leather boots, a leather vest, and pink and white Beach Babe shorts on. Curb just looked at me and he said, "You can't stand next to me." I said, "Well, why not? Am I embarrassing you?" He said, "No, you're just too crazy." He said, "Down through about 40,000 people we went walking down through to get a beer." And he says, "You know what? I just met you, but I like you." He said, "You're crazy." And ever since then, he talked me into becoming a brother of Will's. It's one of the best things I ever did. We become family. Still are today.
As you can see, we are still family.
And you will be proud of your grandfather. He was the man, and the myth, and the legend.
A while ago, I remember I stopped at your house. I was in college, and I remember I came to you and I was upset because my dad was really on me about becoming an adult and doing things the way you're supposed to do them and getting a job with a good pension. And I remember telling you that I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and that what my dad wanted for me and what I wanted obviously wasn't the same thing. And you looked at me and you said, "Jill, 45 years old and I finally found the job that I love, and that you're not gonna find it right away, but the point of life is to keep looking for that. But not only to find a good job, but find a job that makes you happy." And even though those words were so little, I took them to heart, and I will never again work a job that doesn't make me happy on the inside. It's not about the paycheck, it's about how you live your life, and you taught me that. And I'm gonna miss you a lot, but then again, you're still here. You know, I have to keep reminding myself that. And you and your dad and my mom and Sarah's dad and all the other angels are flying high, and you guys are the ones living it up. It's us that are suffering here. And to Danny and Jenny and Debbie, you just have to keep reminding yourself that you are doing great, and that you are, where you're supposed to be at this time in your life. And yeah, we feel that you have been taken from us, but God only takes the best.
We have gone all over West Virginia, Kentucky. I'm not sure whether we went to Tennessee. I'm not sure whether he rode with us on that trip or not. But we have rode many, many miles. And each and every one that Curb and Debbie was with, there was memories made.
I'll never forget your laughter. I'll never forget you constantly popping your fake teeth out to scare us when we were young. But yeah, thank you for everything you've done for me, Ray. And thank you very much for telling me it's okay to be me and not who the world expects of someone like me. And I love you, and thank you. And have fun kicking it with Jesus. All right, love you, bye.
Good old time. Brothers of the Wheel, he made me an honorary member. I said, "Well, this isn't serious." He said, "Oh, yes, it is." And he gave me a patch and other things to go along with that. And it's a good group. Do a lot of charities. Your father had a grandfather and father had a great heart, which you already knew that he did these charities. And ones who've been belittled in life some way or another. So I went in one day, I says, okay, Curb, let's arm wrestle. I said, I think I can take you. And of course, we put our arms up there, and I held in there for a little bit, just a little bit, and my arm went down. He's strong. He was strong, no doubt about it. I miss you, brother, already. God bless everybody.
Deb, he'll always be with you. No matter what, your memories will always be there, and he will always be looking down on you. As you run out the driveway yelling for Ray, he will be thinking about you.
He was one of the best guys I have ever known in my life. He would do anything for anyone. He was loyal to his club. He loved his wife. He loved his family. He was a great father. He was actually everything a man should be. He was.
And over the years, you couldn't ask for a better friend. I was hoping I wouldn't do this, but long story short, Ray is my best way to describe him. Is a once in a lifetime friend. He's just simply a once in a lifetime friend. Be lucky to ever come across an individual like that ever in your life. So who was Ray Vogel? Ray was my friend. I love you, brother. Man.